What up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm fan service Renji.
Shana Mostella.
As you can see, we're not dark and gloomy this episode.
Yay! We fixed it.
Yes, our setup is almost complete. We at least have a little more room now. We got some nice fancy chairs to sit in.
They move, they swivel.
Yep, they move, they swivel, they're super comfortable. Funny story about why we had to get brand new chairs is because I had to leave mine behind in California. Not because it was like totally destroyed or anything. It's because I've had it for like 13 years of my life. I've had this chair longer than I've known Shana. Shana was tired of seeing this chair and was like, I originally got the chair when I was living in Michigan. I took it to Chicago, took it to LA, and I almost brought it back to the Midwest. It's not like it was this grand $500 chair. I believe I got it at Staples or Office Max for $150. Shana was like, hell to the nah.
Some things you just gotta let go, man.
I know. It was so sad. We left that thing on the curb.
Yeah, we left the chairs outside on the curb because in California you can do that. You can put your trash on the curb or your furniture that you don't want. Because I made a compromise with Renji. I said, if you're gonna throw yours away, I'm gonna throw mine away. Mine was a little nicer, a little newer.
Yeah.
So we left them both on the curb. Right away, somebody picked mine up, but then it started to rain randomly out there, and your chair got rained on for a whole day.
It was so sad. The one day that it rained in Southern California was the day my poor chair of 13 years was just left out on the street. No, it was so sad. It was just there. I'm like, nobody wants my chair.
We got rid of a lot of things that were used for podcasts, for my streaming, for my whatever it is that we do. We left a lot of our stuff behind because it just did not fit in our car. So had to say goodbye, had to let go of things. And one of those things was his 25,000-year-old chair. And I'm happy.
Yes. Anyways, enough about the past. I wish I took some pictures with that chair.
You don't need any pictures with your old chair. It's fine. You can let it go.
13 good years gone.
Just let it go, bro.
13 good years of that chair. It's got my booty groove and everything. Nah, for real though. Sometimes you do got to let things go, especially when you're moving across country. It's the perfect excuse to get new stuff. Well, if you have the money to. And also, it prioritizes the things you should take.
Really quick, guys, I wanted to give a really big shout out to all of my followers and fans on my OnlyFans who stepped up and really helped me reach my goal of replacing all of the things I had to throw away. As you can see, got new chairs, got new monitors behind us. I got a new streaming desk, a new computer desk. And because of you guys, I can get back to work. I can start streaming again soon. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm so happy to finally be back on the stream.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Your support really helps. If it wasn't for you guys, who knows when we would be able to have monitors to stream again. All the money that we raised for the moving funds was spent on vital things like moving and getting established at a new place and replacing a bed and just things you need to live.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys for stepping up to help us get these extra things so we can continue working as soon as possible.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, just thank you. Thank you.
For those in the convention cosplay circuit here in the Midwest, January usually means OhioCon for a lot of people. For some reason, I randomly thought about my first OhioCon. I remember what I wore. I thought it was going to be a cute, funny idea. I thought people were going to get a couple laughs out of it. No, I was wrong. I was met with the opposite response. This was probably the cosplay I got the most hate for. That's why on this week's podcast, I want to talk about your most hated cosplay. Without further ado, here was my awesome group cosplay idea for OhioCon 2008. I wanted to do a crossover. Before crossovers were really popular and acceptable in the con community, I went for the ultimate crossover. I had a group of 4 people. We wanted to have an ultimate group of 4. One of my friends was like, we could be Ninja Turtles. There's 4 of them.
What's up, T-shirt reference?
What up, T-shirt women, Superwoman? God, we stole that from you. Ninja Turtles, that was a little too advanced for us back in 2008. I mean, it's still too advanced for me now. I can't make a bodysuit like that. I had a better idea. Teletubbies.
Oh, God.
My
Why?
friends were like, yeah, that's exactly what they said. Why? Well, glad you asked. My cousins were Teletubbies for Halloween. They had the costumes lying around. These costumes were just going to waste.
Mm-hmm.
So the light bulb went off in my head. Dude, we could use the Teletubby costumes and do crossovers. My idea was we were going to be Teletubbies cosplaying as these other characters.
Wow.
Talk to my cousins. They give me their costume. Comes to find out, one of the Teletubbies is missing a head. My cousin got too drunk at a Halloween party and they have no idea what happened to the head. What did you do to where someone ripped off your head off your costume and you lost it? The other three still had the heads.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the Teletubbies, unfortunately, did not have a head. That was the one I wore, the purple one. I forgot, is it Poe? Is that the purple Teletubby's name? Tinky Winky's the yellow one. Tinky Winky. I forgot their names now. I just know there's Poe.
Tinky Winky, Dipsy,
Dipsy.
Lala, Poe.
Oh, yeah, you know.
It's a thing that's stuck in my head. Like, it's forever stuck in my head now. I'm a 90s kid, so I can't help it. You know, we'll never forget the Barney song. We'll never forget anything from Sesame Street. It's stuck in my head, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some things you just never forget.
Sure. Not gonna lie. I watched a lot of Teletubbies with my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a daily thing when I lived with my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Teletubbies every day. I couldn't help but just watch it with them. Low key, the voice message on my cell phone was Teletubbies.
Mm-hmm.
You would call my number and it would be like, leave a message for Tinky Winky and Poe, Lala, Dipsy.
Oh my
People
God.
hearing it for the first time would always be like, what the hell was that? Renji, is this you? Anyways, it was a hit on my voice message. So I figured it'd be a hit at the con. Gather up these costumes. Now the question is, what cosplay can we wear on top of these costumes?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all haven't ever seen it, the Teletubbies costume that I think like Party City and these costume stores sell, it's like a full body, like kigurumi type of thing.
Uh-huh.
And it's really baggy.
Mm-hmm.
So what you wear, you have to be very selective. Let's break down what we had in the group. My first friend wanted to be the red one. What were their names? I've totally forgot.
Tinky Winky's the purple one.
Tinky Winky's purple.
Tinky Winky. Dipsy is, I can't remember what color he was. I think he was blue.
Green.
Tinky Winky. Dipsy is, I forgot which one. Lala is the yellow one. Poe is the little red one. Looks like a little baby still. But I don't remember what color Dipsy was.
Everyone's forgot now.
I think maybe it's blue.
No.
He might be, wait, no, I have to look this up.
Yellow, green, purple, red. There's only 4 of them, right?
Yeah. Wait, let me see.
Oh, God. Now we're arguing about Teletubbies.
Don't mess with me. Oh, okay. So I got messed up because Dipsy is the lime green one. Lala is the yellow one.
Lala's yellow.
Tinky Winky, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. Okay. Yeah, Tinky Winky's the purple one.
Okay.
Yeah, Dipsy's the green one. And then Poe's the red one.
Oh, I forgot about the sun baby.
The baby sun.
Oh, my God.
The weird baby sun.
I just saw the picture of the sun baby on Shana's phone and it gave me a scare. Okay, now that we got that straightened, I forgot which one's which already. Anyways, my friend wanted to be the red one. She was doing a Nana goth girl crossover. She had the big, like, knee-high boots.
Oh, my God.
Put an earring in and a chain. My other friend, he wanted to do Bible Black.
Uh-huh.
So he did a Bible Black crossover. He put the tie on and the vest and stuff. My friend that was Lala, the yellow one, I just remembered. She got lazy and she was like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to be Lala. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to call this my cosplay. I'm like, okay. I got to be my boy, Tinky Winky.
He's on the deep voice. Tinky Winky.
Tinky Winky. and the purple one. Unfortunately, Tinky Winky was the one that was missing a head. So I had to get creative. At that time, I was only cosplaying Kakashi, and a light bulb hit me. I'm going to do Kakashi Tinky Winky crossover.
Oh, God.
So I wore the mask, spiked my hair up, painted it silver and everything. I put on as much pieces at a costume as I could fit on top of the Tinky Winky suit. People knew right away that I was a Teletubby because Teletubbies kind of have that like TV screen in their stomach.
Yeah, the TV screen.
There was no question. During this time, we weren't staying at the Con Hotel. We were staying like 10 minutes away. We had to put these damn Teletubby suits on and then our cosplays on top of that and drive to the convention.
Oh, God.
Park and walk our way over there. Luckily, we were nice and warm because the Teletubby suits are very cozy. We're smiling, just giving each other high fives. The moment we walked onto the con floor, people might as well have been booing. When we hit that reg line, the first thing I heard was, "Oh, you got some effing balls." But he actually said the F word. "What the hell are you thinking?" Someone else, "How dare you wear that bullshit to an anime convention?"
Oh, my God.
I hate you guys. Within the first 10 minutes.
Oh, my God.
We just kept seeing people appalled. They were angry.
It's not that serious.
You guys look ridiculous. You don't wear that shit around here.
What? Like you guys rolled up in Confederate flags outfits.
We may as well. Man, F the Teletubbies.
Oh, my God.
We just kept hearing all these hate calls. People just kept yelling at us, making fun of us.
Right.
Then we had to stand in the reg line. As people kept walking past us, we kept hearing more negative comments. People shaking their heads.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's a kid's show. What the hell?
I didn't know Teletubbies commanded so much hate at an anime convention.
Right.
It's like, geez, did the Teletubbies come on tour in Ohio and burn down a children's orphanage? Like, what did they do to Columbus, Ohio for them to hate the Teletubbies so much?
No.
We were so scarred. We're like, oh, man.
Oh, we need to go home and change
Yeah.
ASAP. As soon as we get these badges, I'm going home.
Yeah. Those costumes did not last long at all. At all.
That sucks.
Yeah. It was so much fun getting dressed up and driving that 10 minutes, but that fun was taken away so fast. I believe only 2 people actually appreciated the crossovers because they got it. Most people just saw Teletubbies. There was a point where we had separated to go do our own things. Brave.
Right.
But I was by myself, and one guy came up to me, and I'm just like, oh, God, here we go. Another one. And he's like, dude, Teletubby Kakashi, freaking love it, man. But thank you. Thank you.
Maybe people just weren't used to crossovers at the time.
Yeah, back in 2008, cosplay was way different.
Oh, yeah.
Different cons were different. They all had their own rules and vibes and stuff. And that was my first time at that con.
They were still pretty cliquey.
Yeah.
Back then.
And I wasn't expecting it. Needless to say, we took those costumes off fairly quickly.
You would think it would have had a better response because at the time, I don't know if it was like around that time, but I just remember Teletubbies having some kind of controversy where Tinky Winky in one episode was carrying a purse.
Yeah.
Even though he's supposed to be a boy, technically.
Yeah.
And people were giving Teletubbies shit for that. In the 90s or early 2000s, people weren't really used to that kind of thing yet. So they're just like, oh, well, he's supposed to be a boy. Why is he carrying a purse? Why are you guys doing that? You guys are trying to promote gay people and stuff like that. Like, that's stupid. You know, like, it was a whole thing. I just remember that whole thing just blowing up.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing on TV, I think it was some British guy, just had pie charts, and he just had this whole special on how your kids shouldn't watch Teletubbies because there's homosexual erotic themes behind it. And he was like, you see this purse? This means this. Oh, you see this symbol on his head? It means this. And like he took some time in his life, talked to some quote unquote experts in Britain.
Yeah, some experts in Britain.
And I remember that. It was just a whole ordeal. Like,
yeah.
don't you have anything else better to do than break down the sexuality
Yeah.
of the Teletubbies?
And they're like, oh, yeah, Lala is supposed to be a girl, but we don't know what Poe's supposed to be because he's the smallest of the group and he's still got a baby face and a baby voice. It was a whole thing. I'm like, why do people care that much about kid shows? Seriously. But I thought it would be, like, why I said it should have been a better response is because the creators were talking up Teletubbies and trying to say, like, no, that's not what we're doing. Like, it's not that big of a deal. They are just kids, like, technically, so why does it matter?
Right?
People were trying to, like, speak up about Teletubbies.
They should have been more worried about why this dude had that much time on his hands.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was just some random auntie that was angry at the TV network. This was some official dude. Like, imagine Barbara Walters doing imagine Barbara Walters doing a 2020 special about the Teletubbies.
Right.
That's the scale that this dude was on.
That's messed up, but there were worse kids, quote unquote kids television series that were around back then that kids still watched, and it's like kids are watching porn by that time. Like, no one cares about Teletubbies if they're gay or not. Like, really, come on. What were you doing at 5 years old? Yeah, exactly. Don't even start.
Unfortunately, I only have 1 or 2 pictures of me as Teletubby Kakashi. We received so much hate that we didn't even bother taking pictures of ourselves.
I remember that picture because you showed it to me. I had a random flashback just now that you couldn't stop laughing in my head. That shit was hilarious. But yeah, I kind of stand with the other people. Why?
Why not?
Why would you do that?
Why not?
I mean, yeah, it's a thing now, and people would probably appreciate it more today than they would have before. But it's still like you have to really think about that.
Yeah,
Teletubby and Kakashi.
Cons were different back then.
Oh yeah,
there was some cons where if you wore an obvious costume from Party City, people would just hate you for it.
Yeah,
people had no chill at all.
And look at cosplayers now.
Right?
Store-bought cosplays everywhere.
Yeah, and that's okay. But back then, people were very vocal about it, and just times have changed.
It was a niche-y thing. It was something that us nerds used to do. We used to stay up late for just making our costumes, trying to make it perfect for the debut day. Yeah. I mean, I'm still like that, but like it was even worse back then. Just imagine the people who actually cosplayed versus people who couldn't make their own cosplay, and they kind of felt left out. And now everybody can do it.
Yeah. All right. Enough about my Teletubby stories. Still the best crossover in cosplay.
You should do it today and see what happens.
I want to. I was actually. I never told anybody this, but a couple years ago, I was actually looking into Teletubby costumes. But this time, I didn't want to do a crossover. I just wanted to be Teletubbies. I wanted to experience what it was like to have a head as a Teletubby. I didn't have one, remember?
Oh, yeah.
My drunk cousin lost it.
He got too drunk.
Yeah.
He was drinking out the head.
Drink. Drinking out of Tinky Winky's head.
It's a hell of an image.
All right, enough about my Teletubby failures. What was your most hated costume or cosplay?
So it was Asuna from Sword Art Online, the anime. I loved the show. I loved it when it came out. The hype was real. I just wanted to be a part of it, right? Asuna is a red-haired white girl. She has really long red hair, blue eyes, if I am remembering that correctly. And obviously, that looks nothing like me.
Yeah.
I tried. I made the cosplay, got the wig, the same color hair. Everything was on point. I was feeling the character. I loved it. Even got really, really good pictures taken of it. One of my friends who is a photographer in Chicago really nailed it. She's amazing. Totally toasty, Ari. You are amazing. Love you. Highly recommend you. Highly recommend her. Everything was great about the pictures. I put it on Facebook, and a lot of the comments were just, you don't look like the character. The costume is great, like the costume, but on you, not so much. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
What the hell did I do to get this kind of response? And Asuna is also like a younger looking girl. She kind of looks like a preteen.
Yeah, they're all high school students.
Yeah, they're all high school students. And of course, I haven't been in high school in a really long time. Nothing that I did, no matter how the photography looked, no matter how good the picture came out. And I had a series of pictures and I posted all of them. I didn't even care. But like the response was just not there. People hated it. And simply because I didn't look like Asuna. I didn't look like a redhead white girl.
Yeah.
So that's why people hated it.
Oh, yeah. I definitely remember that because I was Kirito in that shoot.
Yeah.
The pictures were amazing. They're probably, the group pictures of you and I were probably like some of my favorite pictures still to this day.
Oh, yeah. Those are amazing pictures.
We had the costumes. We had the props. Nothing. And when Shana says people hated them, she doesn't mean people just didn't click like. People were responding how much they disliked the picture. They were very vocal about how much they didn't like her as Asuna. Bunch of backhanded compliments. Well, the photography's great, but I just don't agree with you being this character.
There's nothing you could have said about these pictures aesthetic wise. Like everything was there. Everything was on point. She even had like the little health gauge bar because Sword Art Online is based on like an RPG video game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So she even had the health bar. She had everything going for this. Everything was on point except I didn't look like the character.
Yeah.
And people hated me for that. People were sharing my picture saying, oh, this is a great picture, but look at her. She's not white. And it's like people would go out of their way to do that. And that was like the first time that I've ever experienced anything like that. That was like the thing that made me stop cosplaying anime characters altogether.
Yeah.
It took me a long time for me to start cosplaying anime characters. Just because, like, even if the anime character was black or dark skinned, I still didn't have the confidence to even revisit that again.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to watch what you say sometimes because you can really damper somebody's mood and vibe.
I totally remember that time. We were supposed to go to ASIN and wear our Sword Art Online costumes. I was going to wear the Heathcliff I made instead of Kirito because I figured there'd be a million Kiritos. From all the negative responses you got, you hated that costume.
Yeah.
You just refused to wear it at the next con.
Yeah.
I begged you and you're like, nope. People hate me as this. I'm not going to show up at this con and have people take my picture and then get more hate. And I felt so bad for you. That's the first time we ever saw it that bad with you.
Yeah.
And people were just terrible. That's not the first time that's happened to Shana. She got that same response as Tifa. The pictures were beautiful. Shana looked great as Tifa. Same response. Just because Tifa's everyone's favorite video game waifu. That's their Final Fantasy VII waifu.
Tifa is definitely one of those cult classic kind of characters that is untouchable. You as a person of color cannot cosplay Tifa without getting some kind of backlash.
Yeah.
I remember seeing other people who were, you know, Latina or black or whatever they were. If they didn't look like Tifa is supposed to technically look, they just wrote them a new one. It's kind of along the same lines as Princess Leia, Slave Leia. That is untouchable. You cannot cosplay Slave Leia as a minority. You just can't. I've seen that time and time and time again. Just like, oh, you're not white. You're black. You're this. You're that. You can't do that. It's like, all right, I'm getting crucified by fans.
Right? And it's amazingly ridiculous. Okay, you break down the Slave Leia outfit. It's like, what? You don't like tits and midriff?
Yeah.
I don't care who's wearing it.
I've always wanted to do that, but even you have told me before, it's like, I don't know if you want to go that route because I don't want to see you get crucified again. Like,
yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like that fandom, like that OG 1970s Star Wars fandom, like these dudes that are in their 50s now, they'll still get online to be like, no, you're not my Slave Leia. Okay. Your ugly ass wife isn't either. Oh. Maybe you should stop posting pictures of her. 'Cause she ain't anywhere close to Slave Leia.
A boom.
Anyways, I'm not going to talk about the toxic OG Star Wars fandom.
Oh, God. But it's along those same lines.
Yeah.
Tifa is, for some reason, is just that OG character that you're not allowed to cosplay unless you look exactly like her. And don't say you've never heard of that shit before because I've seen a lot of you who I know in person who be online talking shit about people you don't think is your Tifa Lockhart and that's not the right one. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna step away from all that.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life.
And with that, it's like, okay, Slave Leia, yeah, that's been around since the 70s.
Oh yeah.
Tifa has been around since 1997. But during the time you cosplayed Asuna, that show had barely finished.
Yeah.
It was within its first couple months. I think we watched it maybe a week after it ended.
Right.
The fandom was still new, but that did not stop the gatekeepers from coming out.
And let me be honest, it took me a really long time to cosplay from One Piece. I love One Piece. I love all the characters on there, but I really love Nico Robin and I really love Boa Hancock. And both of those characters, I've seen people who look exactly like the character do it and just like everyone loves it. But I was so scared to do it. I recently cosplayed both of those characters maybe a year ago. It took me that long to finally do those characters because I was just scared that nobody would appreciate it because I'm not white.
Yeah.
And because I don't have a small midriff and I don't look like the character, it took me forever to cosplay that. And it took you having to like really push me and really talk to me about it. It's the only reason why I did it.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you just how hurtful these fandoms can be. I shouldn't even say fandoms. These fans of the fandom can be when it comes to cosplay. It's not right.
It's sad to say that it took you almost 8 years to really feel comfortable cosplaying another anime character.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really remember too many other anime characters you did in between. You kind of switched up to video game characters and just like comic book characters after that. That brings me to a big problem in this cosplay community. It's that fandom gatekeeping. It's not fair to say the cosplay community is toxic because of that. It's more the fandoms and the fans of these characters. They're the ones that are shitty out there.
Oh, yeah.
It took me a while to like separate the two. A lot of people automatically say, oh, the cosplay community's trash. A lot of times when you read the comments, it's not from cosplayers.
Yeah.
It's from people that are just diehard fans of the show, of the characters, of the manga, of the comics. It's not our community. It's the people on the outside looking in.
Oh, yeah. It's always the people who have never worn a cosplay in their life who always want to judge you based on if you do or don't look like the character.
Yeah.
Just because of, I don't know, maybe your race is different, maybe your hair color is different. Whatever the case is, those are always the people that are just in the peanut gallery just talking about nothing they know anything about.
Unfortunately, that's the gift and the curse of this culture becoming more mainstream. Now it's being exposed to people that don't understand.
Yeah.
They only see what they see. That's usually the picture perfect cosplayers, the beautiful girls with the perfect bodies, the perfect photography. They don't know about the culture. They only see the highlight reels that other websites or news outlets that want to get a part of this cosplay money. When you go to San Diego Comic-Con, for example, you'll see all these press outlets that have no business being there.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised if you see Home and Garden magazine there. Home and Garden magazine's top 10 cosplayers of San Diego Comic-Con. Why are you here? It's gotten that bad. You'll see like Fox News and BBC, or I'm not sure if they were actually there, but you get what I'm saying. You see all these people that don't need to be covering cosplay events.
I actually got filmed once by Fox. So it's like, I had no idea why they were there, and I never saw anything from it. You know, it's just one of those things like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you covering this?
When we're at San Diego Comic-Con, I think I saw Vanity Fair there or some magazine like Vanity Fair. What are you doing here? There's so many companies that have nothing to do with comics, nerd culture, video games, nothing, but they're there.
And what they don't understand is the people who do look exactly like the character are paid to be there because they're the ambassadors and the face of those companies. So, of course, the rest of us aren't going to look like that.
Yeah.
That's stuff like Alicia Marie Body does, like people of that caliber, because they look, of course, like she's got a 12 pack.
Yeah.
So I don't have that, you know.
Yeah.
So of course that kind of attention is supposed to be on those kind of things, but they look at all of us like that, like, oh, you're fat, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, but I'm not supposed to.
Oh, shout out to Alicia Marie Body, amazing cosplayer and fitness guru.
Yes.
Online personality. This girl be hustling.
She does a lot.
I don't even know what titles to give her except badass boss bitch.
She's just a badass.
Yeah.
But that's like the person that comes to mind when I think of these like people who like do this for like, you know, for the companies that they work for. It's like that's the kind of press that those people get.
Yeah.
So, but like, don't look at me and be like, oh, you don't look like that. It's like, of course I don't. I don't have a 12 pack.
Yeah. But that's the exposure that mainstream culture has brought to cosplay.
Yeah.
So that's why I've taught myself to separate the hate.
Yeah.
It's not the cosplay community. It's the consumers of the cosplay content.
Because they don't know. They don't know anything about cosplay.
Yeah.
So what does it matter?
As much as we do preach, it doesn't matter what people on the outside say. Hell, it doesn't even matter what the people on the inside say.
Mm-hmm.
You can't deny the fact that it has created this gatekeeper culture.
Yeah.
Whether we want to believe it or not. People just have this unrealistic expectation of cosplay that they want to create these gates. You can't do this because you're this. It saddens me to hear someone as confident and as bold as you are.
Oh, yeah.
Some of your cosplay choices, whether they be difficult, intricate, uncomfortable to wear, like you as Falcon
Yeah.
with those big ass wings, you still chose to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, you didn't care if an outfit was too sexy, people were going to hit on you or harass you. You didn't care if a costume was unrealistic like Falcon when you had a 6-foot wingspan. You didn't care how uncomfortable you were going to be. You still did it. But the thing that broke you was just the hate from Asuna, and it scarred you from being anime characters.
Yeah, and I like to put on a brave face when it comes to things like that. Like I'll poke my chest out and say like I don't care about this, I don't care about that, but you can't deny the fact sometimes some things will get you down. Don't get me wrong, like I come off as strong and tough as nails or whatever, but at the end of the day sometimes like you're not Superman. Like you're going to have things that bother you. Things are going to affect you and how you cosplay. And that's just a part of life, but it just depends on how you take that and how you move forward from it. And with me, I still do what I got to do, but it's in the back of my mind. Like I can't pretend that it's not there, that if I'm not the right color of this person, are people going to, hate me for it? A lot of that hate has died down, and I'm glad that a lot of people who want to cosplay certain characters that aren't colored are still doing it. People are still doing what they want to do, and I love that people can do that in today's world. But back then, like, it was hard. It was a struggle. It really was. But now I just feel like it's a lot better for people of color in today's world, because a lot of people are standing up for themselves and doing what they want to do.
Yeah, it's definitely still a struggle. It's not as bad, but it's still a long journey ahead, because there's still people out there. These gatekeepers are always going to pop up. It's always someone new to the community. I remember you were Falcon at Anime Expo. You looked amazing. Some jackass walked right past you while a bunch of people were taking your picture. Obviously, people were embracing you as Falcon. For those that don't know, when I say Falcon, I mean Falcon from the Avengers. This one guy walked past you, and he's like, Falcon? That's not anime. And you were at the Marvel meetup on top of that. Out of all the people there, out of all the Avenger characters, he called you out. Falcon? That's not anime. Well, neither is Captain America.
And I think at the end of the day, like the most hurtful thing about that was the fact that this guy that called me out was another black guy. And I'm like, what? Like, I didn't understand that, because, it's like, shouldn't you be hyping me up or saying something that, that's going to contribute to my cosplay? And he just wanted to take that moment to just pretty much talk down on my cosplay. Like, don't us people of color have enough to worry about than for us to tear each other down? Like, why? Why do that?
I specifically remember that kid, that Steve Urkel looking bitch.
Mm-hmm. Steve Urkel.
He was this little dorky kid, glasses, just the TV stereotype nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't in cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Had his little registration bag, just got to the con.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any merchandise because his ass probably was broke because he looked broke. And mind you, I say this all the time. I'm not black, but I am a person of color. I'm looking at him like, this little black kid gonna look at a black woman cosplaying a black character and doing this character justice, and you want to be like, that's not an anime character.
Yeah.
Seriously, bruh? Don't you have other shit to worry about?
Oh, yeah.
It still bothers me to this day. It's been a couple years. Why did he point you out?
And that's not the first time I've been called out by another black person.
Yeah.
And that person, I think I said it in a previous podcast, but that specific person was calling me out because I wasn't the right skin color as the character that I was cosplaying. Why do we feel the need to tear each other down when we're both people of colors? Like, wouldn't you like to see somebody who's trying to represent a character and trying to, like, do what they want to do and just live life, you know? Like,
though it wasn't right, though he should have kept his mouth shut, even that made more sense than this dude.
Right.
Because you were cosplaying Rachel, a white Russian girl or something, versus you were cosplaying a black character.
Right.
Then this black dude had a problem with you for whatever reason.
Right.
Oh, I still remember this dude's face. Oh, God,
you gonna find him. I'll find you.
I wish I would run into him again, but
it just makes no sense.
It doesn't. Creating these gates that people can't pass through. And I know a lot of my friends struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
Hear it all the time. It's not even so much, I want to cosplay this certain character. There's people of color who are afraid to cosplay, period.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what character they want to do. They're just afraid, period. And that is so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
As you said earlier, you don't know how far your little negative comments dig into people.
Right.
How do you become a part of this community, but just add this toxic venom to it? And sometimes we got to check ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our insecurities, regardless of how confident we pretend to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you know you're going to be part of this delicate community, like sometimes maybe you should filter yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of hypocritical of me because I do just say what I feel on this podcast and previous videos.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't under someone's picture saying, oh, you look terrible.
Right.
Like, that's personal.
Yeah.
You're going to their page, you follow this person, you see their picture, and then you're going to comment on their shit. Like, some of y'all need to check yourself about that. I have a lot of people that do follow me that do like to insert that shit as well.
Mm-hmm.
My Aang cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my most popular cosplays since Abarai Renji from Bleach, right? It's safe to say Aang from Avatar The Last Airbender is Asian.
Mm-hmm.
He's a monk.
Mm-hmm.
In the show, he's 12. I cosplayed Aang as an early adult, probably in his 20s. It was based on some fan art.
Mm-hmm.
The fan art gave Aang extra tattoos that weren't Airbender tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
The only other time you see Aang as an adult is in Korra, in the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
People that follow me on my social media, on my fan page, there are still people that follow me that comment on my stuff all the time that just felt the need to insert their negative bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know Aang don't got those tattoos, right? Even though the caption in my pictures say based off of fan art by so-and-so.
Right.
Even though my captions also say adult Aang.
Right.
When you watch The Legend of Korra, you see Aang's flashbacks, but he's fully clothed.
How you know what tattoos he got as an adult?
You don't know what he's got on under.
Maybe he got something different.
Uh-huh. Y'all forget Aang was a monk.
Yeah.
Oh, he sure broke that monk code when he put his super sperm into Katara and had them kids. He sure broke them vows. So if he making Airbender Water Tribe babies, what's going to stop him from getting tattoos?
Exactly.
So y'all better check that. But anyways.
Exactly. Check your facts, man.
But anyways, so many people were just like, in person too. Mm-hmm. I remember I wore Aang at Anime Expo. Mm-hmm. A bunch of people would be like, oh my God, I love you as Aang, because naturally I'm Asian and I'm bald too. So I looked the part.
Mm-hmm.
Still, people would come up to me and be like, Aang don't have those tattoos, so I don't know why you did it. On some negative shit.
So can't you just appreciate the art? At the end of the day, he's an anime character. He's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
I mean, it never stopped me from cosplaying Aang, but still,
Yeah.
it's like, for some reason, there's always going to be these people out here, no matter how amazing you look, because I'm going to toot my own horn. I look amazing as Aang.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably
Definitely.
the best Aang anyone's ever seen in a long time. I'm going to go that far.
Toot toot.
So if you better looking Aang than me, we're going to fight.
Tooting your own horn there.
And plus, fun fact, I was also a monk at a time in my life. So, y'all ain't got no monk cred like me.
And you wearing the monk bracelet.
See?
Yes. I am too.
Y'all can't see this, but I was in Thailand and I got blessed by some monks. So not only can I physically play the part, I've spiritually played the part. So anyways, not to toot my own horn, but sometimes, you got to give yourself credit where credit is due.
Oh, yeah.
So me as Aang, I look pretty dope, and not too many people have knocked me off that high horse. So that's a challenge.
Slow clap.
But sometimes that's the attitude you need to have about anything you do.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's cosplay, you need to feel and act like you the best at it. Because honestly, as many times as I've been shirtless, it's that false confidence / cockiness that's helped me get through it.
Oh, yeah.
I put this in a song before. I turned cockiness into confidence. Every day, I was just extra cocky for the longest time. And then I started to believe I was that cocky person. But then it turned into confidence because I got so used to, at cons, for example, I was shirtless as Abarai Renji. I had to be. I'm shirtless, got these tattoos on. I'm trying to make my abs pop. I had to carry a certain attitude, and I did it for so long, for so many times. I started to believe in that cockiness of that character where I used it to make myself confident. I was like, you know what? I walked around a whole con for a weekend shirtless talking to everybody. What's going to stop me from talking to this person at a party? What's going to stop me from asking this girl out? What's going to stop me from doing anything? I was shirtless for 72 hours.
Yeah.
In the winter, even with my nipples just ice hard. Like, I didn't care.
Ice hard.
Yeah, I was shirtless at OhioCon. Columbus, Ohio, in the middle of January. I didn't care. My nipples were hard as rocks, but whatever.
And that's a confidence that I want you guys to have. It doesn't matter because it's going to happen no matter what you do. It doesn't matter how good your cosplay is. As soon as you dress a little bit sexier or you're cosplaying a character that isn't your skin color, if you have the wrong hair, wig color, whatever the case is, you're going to get shit about it no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You might as well just have overconfidence. To yourself, just say how dope you look. Tell yourself how sexy you are. Tell yourself that you are the shit and that is the best character that anyone has ever seen. Tell yourself that you are perfect. You are perfect. Don't go any lower than that. You are perfect. And that kind of confidence will seep into you, and then all the hate that you'll get, if you get any at all, will just dissipate. It'll go away. So that's my advice.
The one thing I've learned over the years, cosplaying and being in the con community, there's always going to be a little shit in your DMs, in your comments, at the con. That's inevitable. Just prepare for it. Don't be thrown off guard. Don't let it get you down. I know that's easier said than done, but there's always going to be someone there that finds pleasure in being a little shit.
Oh, yeah.
The only way they can get satisfied from that is if you let them win, if you let them bother you. It's going to be a little speed bump, and it's going to bother you for a little bit. Like in Shana's case, she let it get to her, and I don't want anyone else to feel like that.
It got to me to a certain extent to where I didn't do anime characters, but I still cosplay my butt off.
Yeah.
I still did what I wanted outside of anime characters, and that's what I want to, speak up about because, yeah, that got me down, but I still did what I wanted to do regardless.
Yeah.
And I just, I kept going no matter what was going to happen, no matter what anyone said, because they're going to still talk shit about you no matter what.
Oh, yeah. Just like in the case with US Falcon.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands of people took your picture that weekend, but only one asshole had a problem with you.
Oh, yeah. There's always somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always going to be people out there who hate other people for no apparent reason, for absolutely no reason. And I've seen that time and time again with, bigger, high tier, more famous cosplayers out there. They always get hated on for no reason. And you just got to keep pushing forward. You just got to keep doing what you love. I shied away from doing anime characters, but I still just did what I wanted regardless. Besides that,
Yeah, you still kept cosplaying.
Uh-huh.
Another thing you should take from this is it's not just you.
Mm-hmm.
It's everybody. Just like Shana said, a lot of high tier, more popular cosplayers, they still get this.
Mm-hmm.
They can make the most perfect armor build, no flaws, no nothing, amazing photography.
Oh, yeah.
And someone's still going to be like, I don't like it. You shouldn't cosplay that. Everyone's got their gates that they're trying to lock people behind. But that don't mean you can't jump over the gate and still flourish and do what you want to do.
It doesn't get any easier. And I want to say that again. It does not get any easier when you're popular or when you're more popular or you're doing the whole cost famous route. It only gets harder from there. So if you can't take the criticism that you're getting now, imagine if you were Yaya Han. Imagine if you were Stella Chu. Imagine if you were Kamui Cosplay. Those are all incredible cosplayers. And they still get their amount of shit every single day just due to the fact that they're more in the public eye. More eyes are on you. More negative eyes are on you.
Yeah.
And that means you're going to get more shit than anybody who's lesser popular than they are. You're going to get more shit than anybody because more eyes are looking at you.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking to see if you're going to mess up and do something that they don't like. Oh, but if you don't do anything they don't like, they're still going to hate you anyways.
Yep. I definitely agree with that. Remember that Pulse nightclub shooting in Florida?
Yeah.
Anyways, Jessica Nigiri donated thousands of dollars to that charity fund. And people gave her shit about it. People just totally disregarded the fact how much money she put up for that charity. And they just wrote it off as she just donated for clout. The bottom line is she still donated thousands of dollars while that asshole in the comments, or no, I should say the assholes in the comments, because there's a lot of them. Why didn't you just donate and not say anything? First off, why didn't you donate and just shut your mouth? Because I'm sure you didn't donate at all.
But I'm sure those same people would have called her out anyway because they didn't see her donate.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That just happened to Yaya Han and Stella Chu in 2020. While all the protests were going on, people were calling them out. Why haven't you donated? Why haven't you said anything? While in fact, they were donating behind the scenes. They just didn't feel the need to post about it.
Right.
So then they started donating and showing receipts. Then people started saying, why you got to show receipts? Why you can't just donate in silence?
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It goes back to what I was saying. It's not just you. People of all levels of this community get the same bullshit because there's always some asshole. If you take any lesson from this, it's not just you. There's always some asshole, ...
Yeah.
There's always some asshole that wants to comment. There's always some asshole that wants to share and talk shit. There's always some asshole that wants to say something bad to your face.
And it's sad because you want to root for these people. You want to like be happy about certain things. Like, okay, yeah, that's cool. They donated that. Yeah, that's cool. They did this and did that. But there's always some asshole ... that who just doesn't get it. You just don't get it. Then it's like, what do you want me to do in your perfect little stupid world? What is it that I can do to make you feel better? You know, and then you can't give that person an answer because you're just an asshole. So
yeah, there's no point arguing with fools.
Nah,
because then you just both look stupid. People are just gonna be as ignorant as they want, and they're never gonna see the other side.
Nah, don't sweat it.
Nah.
I learned from my past mistakes of getting offended by certain things, and there's just nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I could have done about that situation. Lesson learned, just got to keep it moving. You just got to keep doing what you do that makes you happy. Let's bring it back to Jessica Nigri. She got famous because she wore this scantily clad Pikachu outfit, and she was just there to have fun. But people hated that costume for some
Yep.
reason.
Yep.
It was just ears and a skirt, and she was
And a
like,
tail.
and a tail.
And her yellows didn't match.
Yeah. And she was like, it was like a bra and like a mini skirt and whatever. And she got so much hate from that. But that hate made her go viral.
Yep.
And then pretty much overnight, she became Jessica Negri.
Mhm.
And she's never looked back ever since.
Yep. She went from being that sexy Pikachu girl to Jessica Negri overnight.
Yeah.
The hate made her famous.
Oh, yeah. They're like, who's that? And then, because you guys forget, like, why we say trolls help you in a way, because they're putting it out there like, oh, look at this. Then that person will go and click and see what it is. Another person will go click and see what it is. If you're putting it out there, even if it's negative, people are going to see what you're talking about, because most likely they've never heard of me. They never heard of Jessica. They never heard of whoever it is. They'll go look at it and be like, and tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends. And then all of a sudden, here you are, famous as can be, you know?
That's a valuable lesson I've learned. That's what helps me not get bothered by it. I remember the good the hate has done for me.
Yeah.
I remember how many new faces that were introduced to me thanks to the haters.
Oh, yeah.
Jessica's a great example. Kim Kardashian's another example. That whole family.
Yeah.
Just because one person hates them and they share that image, it doesn't mean everyone else is going to agree. You may be introducing this person to someone else that may end up loving them. To be honest, I've learned about a lot of cosplayers I follow because of the controversy, because someone wanted to talk shit, and then I took my time to research them and be like, oh, this person's pretty cool. Honestly, that's how I discovered Yaya Han. I kept hearing the name, good and bad, but I never knew what she looked like. I didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
So one day, I decided to Google who Yaya Han was. I'm like, oh, I've seen her around before. But then I had a handful of people who hated her and a handful of people that liked her. Point being, if the people that hated her weren't so vocal, I would have never looked her up. That's how I learned about a lot of people.
Same.
All the stuff that certain people were saying about certain cosplayers, I learned not to be true, and it was just some personal shit. So because of that, I became their fan. So if it wasn't for this hater, I would have never known about this person.
Right.
Someone may hate you in a cosplay, but sometimes that's not a bad thing. Because if they were ignorant enough to be in your comments, to say it to you in person, like Shana at Anime Expo, they're stupid enough to tell their friends.
Oh, yeah.
And to tell their other friends. Because misery loves company, and they're just going to keep bitching to anyone that will listen to them.
Yeah. And that, unfortunately, for that troll, is what's contributing to someone else's fame. And they won't stop doing it because they just can't help but say something about someone that they absolutely don't even know in person, know nothing about. It's like you're just giving them free publicity, basically.
Pretty much.
Free advertisement. So kudos to you. Thanks to all the trolls in the world is why I know the people that I know now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So thank you. You've contributed something to the world. Not what you thought it would be, but you still did good.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's getting to about that time where we should wrap this up. We told you stories about our most hated cosplay. Man, I still want to rock Teletubbies. I don't care. I don't care if people are still mad. I'll wear this right back to OhioCon.
Wow.
Just wait. I'll wear a different Teletubby every day. I don't care. I'll go there on Thursday and be a different color. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't care. I want the rock Teletubbies. I'm bringing it back. But if 3 of y'all want to be a part of my group, maybe I'll let you borrow one of the costumes. Just maybe. Nobody likes negative comments. Nobody likes people sharing them just to talk shit. But sometimes your most hated cosplay could be your greatest cosplay for whatever reason. It could be the one that gets you viral. It could be the one that introduces people to you. It could be the one that you meet an awesome person from. A lot of people may hate it, but you might meet that one person that loves it, and that person could end up being your best friend, your significant other. You never know. Don't let other people keep you down from what you want to cosplay. Just do it. Those that hate you for it, screw them. People are going to hate just because they have nothing else better to do. So with that said, I'm curious to hear what your most hated cosplay was. It's not just you. There's always some asshole out there, ... All right, guys, as always, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit that thumbs up. It really does help. A lot of people take that for granted, but unless you're in the YouTube space, you don't know how valuable the thumbs up, the comment, and the share is.
Oh, yeah.
Also, go on the audio platform, download us on Podbean or Spotify or something. That also helps as well. Like I said last week, we getting ready to bring on guests, but we still need some bargaining chips. We need to show them that people listen to this podcast. The only thing they can check are the views and the downloads. So if y'all help us get these views up and y'all help us get those downloads up, we can start getting these guests sooner.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all know a lot of the people I'm friends with, a lot of the people I'm connected with. I just need to make it worth their time. So that's how you guys can help. If you guys want to take it one step further and support us with money, you can go on Shana's OnlyFans and unlock some of her sets until we get some merch going. So yeah, all the money that y'all contribute to her OnlyFans or whatever else we do, like Twitch streaming, for example, all goes back in this podcast. It helps us buy new lights. I totally forgot to mention that. As you can see, this podcast is way more evenly lit.
Oh, yeah.
Last week, it was dark and gloomy. Why? Because last week, I only had these little dinky LED lights that I got off Amazon. But this week, I have these big-ass LED strips that are like 5 feet long each. And it's so well lit now.
And like I said at the beginning of this podcast, a lot of you who have been donating and unlocking my sets on my OnlyFans page, you are the people who contributed to our nice chairs that we got here and the nice monitors back here, and everything that you guys contribute to goes back into this podcast. This is a whole collective. So whatever we're doing, if this isn't your thing or if OnlyFans isn't your thing, there's always other ways you guys can contribute and help us out.
Yeah. Now we can start Twitch streaming again because now we have computer monitors.
It's the little things, guys. Like, it really does make a difference. So don't think that even if you can't donate money, all you have to do is click the thumbs up button. You just like the video, share the video, save it, do whatever you got to do. Watch it. Maybe if you don't like what we say, put it on mute. Just let it run. Do anything. There's anything you can do helps a lot.
Yeah, that's a good example. Play the old episodes. Just hit the playlist and let them all run.
Yeah.
Some of y'all may not remember, but this podcast, at least the YouTube version, originally started on my personal YouTube channel. So I had to carry some of those videos over. So those first 20-something videos have no views because all the views hit the first time I posted on my personal channel. So y'all can go back and let those old videos play just to get the views up, just so people don't be like, oh, nobody watched their first 26 episodes and thinking we whacked. Y'all know we ain't whacked. Because if we were, you wouldn't be listening right now. So
exactly.
All these little things does help, guys.
Yes.
So with that said, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Shinobi Squad Podcast. I'm Fan Service Renji.
I'm Shana Mostella.
See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.